This is a crazy scene here. That is a very odd break on this tree. It happens to correspond in height with the break on this horizontal tree now. Here's a fresh snap off up here, all broken off. I mean, I think this was the work of a very strong Sasquatch, if you ask me. Another break down here. I mean, that could have broken when this hit it. But even so, I mean, tremendous force. Tremendous force here involved. Even the one I'm standing on. Like, they all broke at once right here. In fact, look at the burning. Look at all of the burning on this wood. All of this wood is singed and burned. And I don't see evidence of a lightning strike anywhere. Holy shit, guys. This is very strange. Gotta be careful. I'm not gonna... I mean, that is so weird. Only the bark is singed, not the insides. How could that be? How could that be? How could it be that the outside of the trunk has caught fire and burned? And I don't think the fire department was out here putting it out either. Those are burned. Those are burned. This, I mean, everything. Look at the burnt wood down here. It's all singed on the outside only. That is a definite anomaly. And you would see like where a tree blew up. If it got struck by lightning, the tops wouldn't crash. It wouldn't snap in the middle. If it did, there'd be a huge explosion. But none of the wood is damaged on the inside. They say these Sasquatch have the ability to start fire. What if they could stare with their red eyes so intently? I mean, let's think about this. If there was a fire here and this was flaming, this would have burnt, this tree would be toasted. It's untouched. It's completely untouched. Only the heat has been applied to the bark. This is extremely strange. This is extremely strange. Look at the way it's peeled away from the base. Just the bark has been heated from the outside. The wood inside is untouched. This is unlike, I mean, this is on a bigger scale than I've ever seen. I've seen this before, but like, I realize now on a living tree on this scale, on this many, what is really going on? What could do this? Look at there. That would be singed if there were fire. Only the trees around it are burnt. This is not normal. Look at some of these on the ground. I don't know what happened here. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know, like, what these guys can do. Man, this is really odd. A really odd scene indeed. Have you guys ever seen anything like this? I've brought a lot of evidence to the table, and I'm telling you, this is something on a whole new level, on a whole new scale. Like, the amount of singed material, the size of these breaks. I mean, granted, maybe some of these trees were weak, because I do believe that the massive amount of aluminum is being uptaken by these trees and interfering with their calcium uptake, as I've heard it explained many years ago. But this is a problem here to figure out. And I don't know, even with a weak tree, these are distinct snaps at certain heights. It gives a very distinct look from afar. When I came upon it, I knew something had happened here. But seeing the singe and burn marks on this bark just has me absolutely baffled. In fact, I believe that this tree here does not have bark on the bottom, and thus it was more singed. That gives a very familiar look of charred wood. So that may have been on fire a little more so than the others. But isn't this freaking weird? I mean, like, what happened? Did something crash here and take out the trees and, like, come straight down and land on the ground behind it or something? Like, I mean, you look at the way this tree is split. It had to have been hit this way. Something hit this way. Something hit that way. Whoa, don't want that fall. What could have done that besides the Sasquatch? Which leads you to the question, well, then what burnt this stuff? It doesn't appear as though there's any marks on the ground where something would have fallen from a great height. Not at all. But I don't know, maybe they did come and put it out. Maybe there was a fire here. Maybe it was a lightning strike. Maybe they did come in and put it out. Looking at some of these cut marks on the ground. And yet, if they had chainsaws, don't you think they would eradicate the hanging material? Right? Don't you think they'd cut down the half a tree and clean it up a little bit? Or because there's nothing's really cut up out here. I just see that one. I don't think that's what it was. There's a couple of cut marks down here, but those aren't fresh. Those are not fresh. There's no chainsaw dust, you know, sawdust. There's no. I'm tricking myself. This is a weird scene. This is a very weird scene. You really got to ask yourself, what, I mean, really, come on. This no way. There was no fire here. If the fire department had to come and put that out, that would be singed, unless that was put there after the fact. And this was hung there after the fact. And this tree grew here after the, I mean, come on, you know what I mean? How far are we kidding ourselves? That tree's not even burnt. How would the bark catch fire and go up and singe up? Could it, and not touch anything around it? I don't know. Not really. Look at the vines growing on that tree. Those would have been burnt. That material touching it, come on. This is weird. This is weird. Obviously, that's an old break on top here, but that's a new break over here. These are obviously fresh breaks. I mean, within the month. If not more recent than that, probably. Very fresh break. Very fresh break down there, that tree. I mean, this is a strange scene, man. Strange scene. The national forest is right up here. Bigfoot Crossroads just had a guy on. He's on the other side of those mountains looking back at him. Saw the Sasquatch going up. So they're all through here. But this is something else. Was it on fire when it stood? How did it get knocked over? What is your conclusion to this scene, everyone? I would love to know. Thanks for watching if you made it this far. Have a good day.